Hello, welcome to Scrap Time. My name's Christine, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can add texture to a project using paper. And I'm using these tags here for the demo. I had shown you in the previous video the Chamel Sparkle City collection, and that's the paper I used here on the base of this. And in that video I was just using lines, so I just have lines here on my tag. But you can rip your paper, you can cut out shapes, images, any sort of design you want. And what's going to happen is we're going to apply some gesso, but then later on, when you put your paints or mediums over top, your paper is then going to add texture to the background of your project. So this is great for art journal pages or card making. And the reason why you might want to do this is it just adds another layer without becoming too busy. So if you want to start by some texture, the paper is a great way to start adding different layers and texture to your project. As you build it up with paints and that, you'll still see it without it. It will really fall into the background, not be front and center. So I'm going to just demo how you do it on this tag here. I have this gesso. It was from Ranger. They no longer make the studio gesso, but now Dina Wakely has a gesso with Ranger. But you can use any gesso you want. I would probably do a medium body just because if you use it too thin, you'll see here that we're going to need a couple layers just to cover some of the color of that paper, especially because I had a dark paper here. So if you use a thin gesso, you'll need more than a couple layers. So a medium body is probably good. So I just want to cover this. I'm going to do 2 layers just to get some of that paper, just so some of the paper won't be sticking through. It'll be more of a white. So I'm just going to dry this layer with my heat gun. Now it doesn't take long to dry because I use just a thin layer, but I'm going to just put another layer on, as I said, just to try and make it more solid because I'm getting some of that color through. Just making sure the edges of the paper there. And I'm painting this on my Tim Holtz media mat. And you'll see that I have some paint on here. You can get a scraper made for this mat to scrape it off. And I have one. However, I'm trying to locate it at the moment. So you can clean off the mats if you have the scraper. I'll put a link to the scraper. And hopefully I will find mine so I can clean off my mat. So whether you can see the difference, now it's a lot more white. I'm not seeing the color so much, so I'm going to try that and then we'll move on to coloring it. So it ends up, I am sitting on the opposite side of the table that I normally sit on, and I looked over and ta-da! I told you I had one. I found it! So this is great because you can hear it's hard. It's not like a rubber or that. And then it's made to just scrape away. I'm not going to do it because I know the noise will bug you, but I'll be able to afterwards just scrape away and clean off my mat. So I'm so excited. I've been looking for it. It just took sitting on the opposite side of the table. So back to our project. So I have my gesso here, and to do this I'm going to use Distress Crayons, which is also covered in paint. That's life, isn't it? So I use this little tin for my crayons, so I have just a variety of colors here. And I'm going to randomly pick some colors. Now, because I've added the gesso here, these crayons go on so smooth. So it starts like that. But then with the magic of your finger, and the magic of the gesso, I'm able to just blend the crayon right over top like that and smudge it in. And then let's see. I always use picked raspberry. Picked raspberry, I think, is my favorite color. So I just add color like that. Now you might not want to use the same finger because that was green. So luckily we have more than one finger, and I'm able to just smudge in some pink. Ooh. And then I just want to go for that blue. So many choices. Maybe a mermaid down here. Put some mermaid lagoon down there. I can go back to my original finger since blues and greens sort of go well together. And I can put that color straight into the pistachio and blend it. Oh. And because I like orange, I'm going to do a little orange. And I can use my pink finger to blend the orange. I'm not going to blend it too much with the green, obviously, because orange and green don't really like each other. But there, so now you should be able to see some of that texture should be popping off now that we added the color. This is great too if you have like dies that give you that lace cut, like a doily cut, or even putting doilies down, anything that has texture. And as you layer on, all that texture will come out in the background, which will give you a really neat effect on your projects. So this is one way you can add texture, is by just cutting up paper, any paper you want, gluing it down with your multi-medium or gel medium, and then I use Distress Crayons on top, but you can use paints and whatever medium you like. Thanks for watching. Be sure to give our video a thumbs up and subscribe to Scrap Time videos on YouTube. In the meantime, here are a couple other videos you might be interested in watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.